Mayor Eric Adams. He's known for a lot of things, from clubbing downtown.
These charges will be entirely false, based on lies.
What if I told you that New York City's mayor wasn't always a politician? His career path might surprise you. Before becoming the 110th mayor of the Big Apple, Eric Adams was a member of the NYPD for over 20 years. He rose from poverty to become the mayor of one of the world's most iconic cities. But did you know? Before he was mayor, Adams fought against police brutality from within the system. As a teenager, he was a victim of police brutality himself. So how did he transform from a young man angry with the system to one of its leading reformers? And what drives his mission to reshape New York City? Stick around as we uncover the untold story of Mayor Eric Adams. His journey and vision make him a fascinating leader today. Adams was born on September 1, 1960, in Brownsville, Brooklyn, to a working-class family. He grew up with 5 siblings, raised by his mother, Dorothy, who worked as a house cleaner and a cook. His father, Leroy Adams, was a butcher. The family faced economic struggles, often moving between Brooklyn and Queens. Despite these challenges, Adams's mother instilled in him a strong work ethic. She taught him to stand up for what is right. As a child, Adams was a bright student but found himself entangled in trouble. At just 15, he and his brother were arrested for trespassing. Adams saw police brutality firsthand. This left a lasting mark on his views of law enforcement. Instead of letting this trauma defeat him, Adams used it to fuel his pursuit of a law enforcement career. He was determined to reform the system from within. His parents played an essential role in shaping his values and his sense of justice. Dorothy Adams, in particular, was a key influence. She taught him that, despite hardships, perseverance and education lead to success. Their influence laid the foundation for New York City's future mayors. He had a strong commitment to public service and community reform. Eric Adams attended several schools. They helped him become a leader. He first attended Bayside High School in Queens. After graduating, he attended the New York City College of Technology. There, he earned an associate degree. Adams earned a BA from John Jay College of Criminal Justice. The college is known for producing professionals in law enforcement and public service. His studies at John Jay helped fuel his passion for criminal justice reform. Later, Adams earned a Master of Public Administration degree from Marist College. His public administration education gave him the tools to lead and shape policy. It shaped his career as Brooklyn Borough President and later Mayor of New York City. Adams's early career is marked by his commitment to reforming law enforcement and advocating for justice. After experiencing police brutality as a teenager, Adams decided to change the system from within. He joined the New York City Police Department in 1984, serving as a police officer for over 2 decades. Early in his career, Adams worked in precincts across New York City, including Brooklyn and Manhattan. He focused on crime prevention and community relations. However, he stood out for being a vocal critic of the department's practices. As a black man who had suffered from policing, Adams became a strong advocate for reform. He wanted to fix a police force, often criticized for its treatment of minorities. In 1995, Adams co-founded 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement Who Care. The group advocates for police accountability and criminal justice reform. The organization pushed for reforms in policing. It sought more transparency and fair treatment of communities of color. While still an officer, Adams challenged the status quo. He spoke against racial profiling and police misconduct. He called for better community relations. He balanced his role as a law enforcer with that of an advocate. He sought to make law enforcement more just and fair. Adams's work to connect police with the communities they serve helped his later political career. Reform and public safety were key to his platform. His early career in the NYPD showed his drive to be a reformer and a protector of public safety. This led to later roles as Brooklyn Borough President and Mayor of New York City. Adams's political career has been defined by his focus on public safety, criminal justice reform, and community empowerment. His journey into politics began in the early 2000s. It followed his retirement from the NYPD in 2006 after 22 years of service. In 2006, Adams ran for the New York State Senate. He sought to represent Brooklyn's 20th district. It includes Crown Heights, Brownsville, and Park Slope. He won the election and served from 2007 to 2013. As a state senator, Adams supported tenant rights and gun control. He also backed education reform and criminal justice. He pushed for better police-community relations. He introduced a bill to reduce stop-and-frisk practices. They hurt Black and Latino residents. In 2013, Adams made history. He became Brooklyn's first Black borough president. Brooklyn is one of New York City's most populous and diverse boroughs. He helped local businesses, promoted wellness, and advocated for marginalized groups. Adams became known as a pragmatic leader. He balanced reform with public safety. His Brooklyn blueprint set a vision. The goal was to modernize the infrastructure, improve housing, and create safer neighborhoods. He used his platform to promote healthy living. He often discussed his transformation after being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He switched to a plant-based diet. In 2021, Adams ran for mayor of New York City in a tough Democratic primary. He aimed to balance safety with justice reform. His background in law enforcement helped him win the Democratic nomination. So did his views on police reform and his experience as borough president. In November 2021, Adams was elected the 110th mayor of New York City. He took office on January 1, 2022. As mayor, Adams has focused on crime, homelessness, and affordable housing. He aims to recover New York's economy after the COVID-19 pandemic. He pushes for reforms that ensure safety, justice, and growth for all New Yorkers. He also prioritizes public health and the environment. Eric Adams has faced controversies in his political career. He has navigated criticism from many sides. As a former NYPD officer advocating for reform, he often walked a fine line. He had to support the police while pushing for change. This drew criticism from progressives. They accused him of not going far enough. Police unions were skeptical of his reforms. Adams faced scrutiny for his ties to real estate developers. This was especially true during his time as Brooklyn borough president. Some alleged conflicts of interest in his support for development projects. His failure to disclose some financial interests raised transparency concerns. This fueled worries about his dealings. His mayoral campaign was marked by allegations of questionable fundraising. Critics worried about donations from those with business interests in the city. A controversy arose during the campaign over his residency. Some alleged he lived in New Jersey, not in New York City. Adams gave a tour of his Brooklyn apartment to address the issue. But doubts lingered. As mayor, Adams's approach to homelessness and public safety has divided opinions. His policies on clearing encampments and boosting police presence are controversial. Supporters praise his efforts to restore order. Critics argue that his methods lack compassion. Eric Adams is embroiled in a controversy over federal bribery and fraud charges. He is accused of accepting lavish gifts like expensive international flights. He also solicited illegal foreign donations during his 2021 mayoral campaign. These charges, linked to foreign nationals, have led to calls for his resignation from fellow Democrats. Adams has maintained his innocence. He vowed to fight the charges while still serving as mayor of New York City. Also, his push for a plant-based diet has drawn mixed reactions. His health journey inspired it. Some praise him, while others accuse him of imposing his lifestyle on the city. Adams has faced challenges. Still, he sees himself as a pragmatic leader. Controversies, however, have affected the public's view of his leadership. Eric Adams has kept much of his personal life private. He is not married, but he has been in a long-term relationship with Tracy Collins, an accomplished woman in her own right. His dating history is not widely known. He prefers to keep his personal life private. Collins serves as a senior executive in the New York City Department of Education and is known for her work in public schools. The two have maintained a relatively low profile as a couple, with both choosing to focus on their professional lives. Eric Adams has one son, Jordan Coleman. Jordan is accomplished. He has worked as an actor, filmmaker, and activist. Adams has often spoken about the importance of family and the influence his son has had on his life and career. He has expressed pride in Jordan's achievements and the values he has instilled in him. Adams has been recognized many times for his contributions to public service. He has received several awards, including the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. It honors those who have made significant contributions to American society. Also, civil rights groups have honored Adams for his work in police reform and community advocacy. As of 2024, Eric Adams's net worth is estimated to be around $5 million. His wealth comes from three sources. They are his mayor's salary, his earnings as Brooklyn Borough President, and his NYPD pension. Adams is not one of the richest politicians, but he has used most of his wealth to support his community and favored causes. Adams resides in Gracie Mansion, the official house of the mayor of New York City. This historic house in Carl Schurz Park, Manhattan, has been the home of New York City mayors since 1942. The mansion is known for its elegant architecture and scenic views of the East River. Adams has deep roots in Brooklyn. He has a strong connection to the community there. He has also been known to spend time in his home there. Eric Adams is not widely known for having an extensive car collection. As a public servant, he has often stressed a modest, practical lifestyle. However, he has been seen driving a few vehicles. They reflect his preference for functionality and efficiency over luxury. Eric Adams is a man of many layers, a former cop-turned-politician, a reformer, and an advocate for justice. His story is one of resilience, as he rose from the rough streets of Brooklyn to lead the greatest city in the world. Whether you agree with all his policies or not, there's no denying the impact he's had on New York City. Adams has proven he's dedicated to making a difference. His work on police reform, housing, and education shows it. His journey is far from over, and it will be fascinating to see what comes next for Eric Adams and the city he loves.